Today we will solve another problem from the book Cracking the Coding Interview. So here is the problem statement. You are given two sorted arrays. So here are the example inputs. This is a sorted array and this is also another sorted array. A and B. We can call this A and we can call this B. Where A has large enough buffer at the end to hold B. So this is important. So array 1 already has enough memory assigned, so it can hold all the values in the array 2, right? So for example, we have 5 empty indices in array 1, which is equal to the length of the array 2. So if we want to put array 2 into array 1, we can easily put into array 1 without assigning any more memory to array 1. Write a method to merge B into A in sorted order, right? So we don't only need to merge, we need to merge and we need to make sure that after merging array 1 is still in sorted order. So the output will be something like this. So this array 1 now contains elements from both of the arrays and it is still in sorted order. We will solve this problem by comparing the last elements of both arrays, in this case 14 and 11. We will see which one is bigger and then we will move that element to the last empty index of the first array. So we can see that in this comparison 14 is greater, so we will move 14 to this index. After that we will move to next iteration and we will check if 7 is greater than 11. No, so we will move 11 at the last empty index, which will be this. Then we will compare 6 with this 7. Then we'll move, because 7 is greater, so we will move 7 at this index, and so on and so forth. And after the end of our iteration, our loop, we will get ARR1 in state something like this. Our function receives 4 parameters: array 1, array 2. Last index array 1 represents the index of the first array which we are comparing right now with the index of the second array. For example, when we start, we will be comparing this 14 to this 11. So this 14 is fourth, this is as fourth index, and this 11 is at fourth index. So this will contain 4 and this will contain 4 also, right? Also, we need to keep the track of this last non-empty index, so we know where we want to move the greater element. So for that we will create another variable and I will call it merged index, and initially it should be the last element of the first array, which would be length of first array minus 1, right? Now we need to iterate through the second array unless we move all the elements of the second array into the first array. So we can have a loop something like this: last ARR of 2 greater than equal to 0, right? So now we will compare which element is greater, either the element of the first array or the second array. So we can have condition like this: if this is greater than or equal to ARR2 and last index of ARR2. Okay, so if 14 is greater than 11, we will move 14 to the last index of first array. So it will be ARR1 merged index, which is here. So this will be equal to ARR of 1 and last index ARR of 1, right? So it will move 14 to this position, else, which means that the element in the second array is bigger than the element in first array. So we will move the element of second array to the last non-empty index of the first array. So we can just copy this with some little change. So we can say that ARR1 merge index is equal to ARR of 2 last index of ARR of 2. Okay, so we also need to subtract 1 from these. So if let's say we picked up 14 from this, so now in next iteration we need to compare 7, so we will subtract 1 from this. And similarly, if we picked up an element from the second array, let's say 11. So next time we need to compare 7, so we will also subtract -1 from this index, right? And at the end of that, we know we picked one element either from this array or this array, and we put it at the last first non-empty index of this array. So we also need to subtract this merged index, which we are using to track the non-empty indices. So we will also subtract 1 from this, so it will be merged index minus equal to 1, right? So we also need one more small check here, which will be here. Like if if in this case, even if we move all the elements from the first array first, and we still have some elements in the second array, so we need to add a check here that if last AR index of ARR1 is greater than equal to 0, right? So we don't go into minus and then start from here, and we can get some strange results. So we need a check here to make sure that we don't we don't go past the first index. So yeah, so this is basically it. This is our function which will merge the sorted arrays. We have the sample input here, which is this and this we already discussed. So the last index where we currently need to compare is 4, because fourth is the last index which has some value in array 1, and for array 2 it will be the last element, so it is also 4. So now we can call this function with these 4 parameters, and we will run this and let's see if it works. Okay, we have an error here. So yeah, so we are getting some uh, index out of range error. So let's see what we are doing wrong here. Okay, so it will come here, merge index last. Okay, so we are using last ARR2, which is this, and actually we need to use this variable here. So I will just rename it. The reason it is giving out of range error because we are looping unless it is greater than 0, and we are never subtracting anything from this. So this will be an infinite loop, which is at some point giving us out of range error because we are accessing some index in ARR1 which will get out of range. So we need to just replace this with this, and it should work fine. Yeah, it did work. So we will just now print the array, sorted array, which will ARR1, and let's see. Yeah, so here is our output which contains both of the lists, and it is also merged, right? So yeah, if you have any questions, you can just add your comments down there, and I will try to reply to the comments as soon as possible. And yeah, that's it for today. See you soon.